Round 3, here we go. We're so far 1-1. Lost the die roll again. Hopefully we can win one of them. We do definitely want to go first with this deck. Yeah, this is certainly a keeper. We've got some Delvers for some pressure, and we have Preordained to dig for another creature like a Kiln Fiend or a Cyclops, and the Battle Rage and Apostle's Blessing to protect it. Seems pretty decent. Haven't gotten the Dream Hand yet. I've definitely killed people on turn 3 with this. Have I gotten the turn 3 kill? I've gotten turn 4 kills fairly often, but I haven't gotten a hand like that tonight yet. Gotta hope for that. That's what I really want to show people, is just like slamming a Kiln Fiend on 2 and then just going ham. Yeah, I've definitely gotten some turn 3 kills. Because if you have Kiln Fiend and some Gataxian probes, it's not too tough. Alright, so he goes for Ponder. I wonder if we're mirror matching here. A lot of the blue-red Delver Fiend lists that I see play Evolving Wilds instead of things like Swiftwater Cliffs. So it's very possible. Alright, he's blue-black, so he's some kind of control list. Maybe Teachings. We'll just have to see. I'll reveal Lightning Bolt, sure. And I'll just play Swiftwater Cliffs here. I'd like to get my tap line down. I'm probably not using Bolt here anytime soon. And just attack in. Hopefully get him to use some removal on our Insect Aberrations instead of if we get a Kiln Fiend. We'll have to see what happens, though. So this might be an Innocent Blood Disfigure. Similar. What do we got here? He might be holding up a counterspell. That seems fairly likely. Apostle's Blessing. Yeah, I'll reveal it. So let's preordain before we play another land. See what we get. Artful Dodge and Nivix Cyclops. I don't think I need the dodge. I would like a Cyclops, though. So we have the Apostle's Blessing. We have a Bolt. Let's just keep pressuring him. This is a deck that's likely to have things like Chainer's Edict, though, which is going to be tough because Apostle's Blessing doesn't deal with that. Brainstorm. Alright. I wonder if he's playing Brainstorm, Ponder, and Preordain. I think that generally Preordain's better than Brainstorm because there's not a lot of shuffle effects in the format. He is playing Evolving Wilds, though. I don't know this list for sure. There's a lot of diversity in Pauper, and it's changed up the format a lot recently because there was a huge banning. There was the Cloud of Fairies banning that made a big difference. Cloud of Fairies is a vast portion of the meta. Probably a bigger banning than the announcement of Splinter Twin, honestly. Bigger shakeup to the format. Alright. So he's resolved his Brainstorm, and now he's going to Disfigure. I will Apostle's Blessing that. So I imagine that he's got another Disfigure here, or something similar. I hope that it's another targeted removal spell, because he knew we had Apostle's Blessing. So hopefully we can get him here by forcing him to waste another one, and we just Apostle's Blessing that away too, and then we can resolve this Nivix Cyclops. We'll just have to see, though. Gets a Delver. And Sacrifice effect. Another Disfigure type effect. Sultai Scavenger. Sure. Still leaving 1 mana open. I'm gonna go for the Bolt here. Leaving Apostle's Blessing down. Alright, well, didn't do anything. He had obviously F6 there, so we get to attack him for 3 again. This is looking good. So he's some kind of blue-black delve list. Please don't counter me, bro. And I've got my Apostle's Blessing. Another Brainstorm. So now if he has a Sacrifice effect, we have the Delver flipped here that we can just sacrifice for it, so we get to keep our Nivik Cyclops alive. All we need is one more spell, and we actually have 20 damage in our hand. Right now we have more than enough anyways, I guess. I forgot how much damage we already dealt him with our Delvers. So we're looking pretty good. We just need to avoid him having, like, some kind of, like, double sacrifice effect or a removal and like sacrifice, something like that. Counterspell would also be pretty annoying because he can stop the Teamer Battle Rage, although he's at a low enough life total that it's not too bad. Alright, so he reveals Deprive, so we know he for sure has a counterspell. So this one is counter target spell. He has to return a land he controls to its owner's hand, so he can get rid of our Battle Rage here. That kind of sucks, but it does force him to leave up to... Put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. Alright, so just going for the Delve. And he doesn't have mana for Deprive now. That's interesting. He has to have Miscalculation or something then. There's a lot of spells that are, for counter spells, that are like 1 blue and X. Another Delver. Oh, okay. So he's just leaving himself, like, dead. I don't think there's much that he can do about this. I can't think of anything for 1 black that stops the Nivik Cyclops here. I think we just go for it. Just give this pro blue. And then go Battle Rage and swing for the win. There's no card that I can think of for 1 black mana that does it. Alright, good. Got there. So, against the Delve list, I definitely want my Pyroblasts, because he's got a fair bit of counter spells and other just blue draw spells and stuff like that he'll have. The Mental Notes, stuff like that. I'm wondering if I want the counter spell. Probably not. I like Dispel a fair bit for the counterspell wars. It's a nice cheap way to answer. Lightning Bolt seems decent because he's got the Sultai Scavengers and he has the Delvers. Apostle's Blessing was okay. Probably just Artful Dodge again. This is always the card that I take out. I really need to find a better replacement for it. It's really nice in certain matchups, though, and being able to flash it back is really useful. It just always seems like the weakest link, though, when you look at it. So I think that I play an extra Dispel, too. We're going to get into a lot of counterspell wars. And I do like the Apostle's Blessings, because he's going to have, like, Doomblades and things like that. I really hope that he doesn't have a lot of sacrifice effects, because that's a lot harder for me to deal with. Especially if it's a Chainer's Edict. Chainer's Edict is so nasty by being a sorcery. It's funny, normally instants are the real problems, but because Dispel's such a big card in the format, and it's so easy to have them, that the real problem is really sorcery speed removal. Untargeted sorcery speed removal is a real issue for the deck. Alright, and let's go. Okay, game 2 is a go, and this hand probably isn't. If this were a Ponder, I would think about it. With it just being Gataxian Probe, that's kind of tricky. Double Battle Rage is a little awkward. You only ever need 1, or generally only need 1. 1 Mountain makes this hand pretty keepable, but I just don't think it's good enough. We can do better. Oof, this is equally awkward, if not more. Let's mulligan one more time. I think I have to keep this. I don't like it, but we don't have much choice now. I don't want another Lightning Bolt. We'll bottom that. I don't really want to go to 4. Maybe it was the right decision. Problem is that this is going to be likely a grindy match, because he's going to sideboard in a lot of counter spells, I think. Very awkward. Not running hot tonight. Yeah, we'll let the Brainstorm resolve. I don't need to Pyroblast that. So does he have a land? Okay, he does. And Delver. I probably just bolt that now. I don't really need it sticking around, and I don't need to give him the chance to counter our bolt. Nope. Leave Pyroblast up. If we draw a Kiln Fiend, then suddenly we're back in this very quickly. If we can go like Kiln Fiend Ponder, we can just win out of nowhere. So that's a good sign. Although I'd like to know what's in his hand before I go too deep, because of course you can always just have a Disfigure for it. Now, do I go for the Kiln Fiend here? He's got 5 cards in hand. This is an awkward one. Wish this was Dispel right now. I'd feel a little bit better about going. Because he only showed us Disfigure last time. Disfigure, though, is pretty good against Kiln Fiend right here. He has the black mana up, too. I think that I just have to pass. We'll wait. We can go a little slower. We can afford it. Mental notes. Put Gush and Sultai Scavenger in the graveyard. See if Delver flips. It does. It gets Thought Scour. So similar to Mental Note. Take the damage. We can take a fair bit of damage here before we need to Pyroblast away things like Insectile Aberration. Okay, well there's a Probe. Do I pay the life for it? That's the question. I think I do, in case I draw a Apostle's Blessing or something. I want to hold it up and hold up the Pyroblast. He's not going to counter Probe, is he? That would be pretty greedy, I think. Okay, so he's got a lot of stuff. Let's write all this down. So he's got Counterspell, Curse of Chains, which is not too good against us, because we can Apostle's Blessing it off of our creatures. This just keeps it tapped. Yeah. Doomblade. And 3 Thought Scours. Now, the good thing to know here, kind of, I mean, it's not good news for us, because he has Doomblade. I really can't play the Kiln Fiend into that without some extra backup. So we're just going to have to pass here. The rest of his hand isn't too good, but getting to Thought Scour a bunch of times means that, like, writing down what his hand is not as useful as I'd like. Yeah, it just fires 2 of them off right now. Another land there was pretty terrible. Awkward. Oh, he's gonna go for the main phase Brainstorm, so he's gotta have another land here. I don't think that he leaves Doomblade and Counterspell down. Although we did leave Deprive down last time. Maybe he's just gonna leave down his defenses. Maybe just thinks that we don't have anything. If we can draw Apostle's Blessing, that'd be really nice. Especially if he taps out here, because then we don't need to fight over Counterspell. We can just play the Kiln Fiend and then hold up Apostle's Blessing for a Doomblade. Oh yeah, he's just slamming something. Alright. That could be just fine. Gurmag Angler. Yeah. Even though that's a lot of pressure, I think I'm okay with it. Because we just need to untap the Kiln Fiend to win. He doesn't have enough damage to kill us yet. So, please worth. Alright, there's Apostle's Blessing. Whew. So we go Island, Ponder, Blessing. No shuffle. Play the Kiln Fiend. Hold up Pyroblast. Hold up Apostle's Blessing. And let's go, go, go. Thought Scours again. So we know he has Cursive Blade. Cursive Chains, sorry. Doomblade and Counterspell. Curse of Chains. So I'm going to Blessing that. Leave up Pyroblast. And hopefully he doesn't have a follow-up Disfigure. He could, very easily. Yeah, alright, he gets us. Darn. Really just needed to avoid that. That was the one card that got us. Otherwise we had to win the next turn, for sure. Because we could deal all the damage. Alright. Well. I'm going to take out one of the lightning bolts, actually, and put in another Dispel. Countering the Doomblades and stuff is pretty important. And he did side in some counterspells, probably. We know that we saw a bunch of counterspells that game. And we already saw the bounce ones before that. Yep, this seems good. Alright, this time we finally get to play first. Please give us a good hand. And it's so dicey. Couple land makes it pretty playable, but man, these hands have been rough. I think that we have to mulligan this again. We just need like one more land or one of these to be a ponder. Like this being a ponder would make this keepable, but without that I just don't think that we can. It's so close. There's no Dispel either for protection for the Kiln Fiend, and I need to draw 2 lands in a row to get Nivik Cyclops online. So I'm mulligan that away. I'm not super happy about it, but at least it has land and has a ponder, so let's see what we can get here. Alright, Kiln Fiend and a Dispel, so that's fine. We'll go Island, Preordain, Kiln Fiend, no shuffle. Pass the turn. We've had a lot of really awkward draws. Don't think I want to slam Kiln Fiend here, so let's Preordain. I don't really want to draw that island. Let's take it slow. Bottom the island, top the Pyroblast, and pass the turn. Now the question is what do we leave up for mana on our turn? I think that we leave the Dispel up. Pyroblast is great, but he's got a lot of Doomblade and Disfigure type effects too. Luckily it's shown that he hasn't had a lot of like sacrifice effects. It's the first Ponder that I've seen. He's played a lot of Brainstorms, not a lot of Ponders. Ponder's a lot better in Pauper. than Brainstorm just because you can shuffle your library automatically if you just have a really bad one. We'll see if he does it right now. Put a card on top, 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 and chooses not to shuffle. Okay. Another Pyroblast. That's okay, but not amazing. So I imagine he just slams a Disfigure here. This is going to be a very, very tough match for us right now. Because the odds that he doesn't have another removal spell here are pretty low. But I've got to protect it if I can. And I've got to eventually just try and land something. I could try for a slower game, more protracted, and keep up like a bunch of counter spells. The problem with that is that I already mulliganed, and we don't have any of our draws. So it's not a good way to play right now. Hopefully he waits on a Disfigure until our turn. And then we can have Dispel up, a Disfigure, a Doomblade. That would be really nice. That was that mistake that we were talking about earlier. Not playing your instance on your turn. Alright, he's smart enough to not do that. Yeah, that's a problem. Definitely do not need a third Pyroblast here. This is super awkward. Our draws just have not been coming together. We're not getting enough, like, Ponder Preordains creatures. Like, they're just all awkward. Triple Pyroblast is not at all what we want here. Had some tough ones this league. We can still pull this out, though. Like I said, all this deck needs is just to draw like a couple of good ones in a row. Like Kiln Fiend into Temur Battle Rage, and we might be right back in it. So this is going to be Gurmag Angler. Or Scavenger, sure. Delver. I might just kill a Delver here. I've got enough Pyroblasts. I'm not going to be able to play them all on one turn anyways. Dispel. Getting Dispel out of his hand is kind of nice. I might just let that happen. I think that's actually just better than killing a Delver. I need one more land. I don't want to play the Cyclops into 3 cards in his hand. It makes it a little bit awkward too, because now I can leave up counter spells, but I might be able to get him to fight over an Insectile Aberration here again. And get him to tap out. Then we can resolve Cyclops. If we get a land, then we're good. Alright, I'm going to do it again. I want to save a little bit of damage. Okay. Kiln Fiend works, because we can hold up Dispel still. Hopefully he has Doomblade. We Dispel it. Curse of Chains. Alright. If I get an Apostle's Blessing, I can knock that off. Dispel, unfortunately, doesn't work on it right now. 1 black mana. So he's got a Delver. Or Angler, I mean. A Delve card. Come on. A land or an Apostle's Blessing would be fine. Okay, land it is. Although, actually, that's not a land that we want. I gotta risk it. We're on too much of a clock right now. So, we need, like, a Gataxian Probe into a Temur Battle Rage, and him not to have really good removal right now. With Ponder, that's unlikely. He's kind of got the same draw package that we do. He's just been getting a little more gas with it. Lots of removal. A sweet list. This is definitely a good one. I've seen the Delver, like, Delver Delve list before. The Anglers and the Delvers. Nice value kind of tempo control list. Thankfully, Nivik Cyclops does dodge Disfigure. So he has to have something like Doomblade or another Curse of Chains. Even if he doesn't have the removal, though, like, we still need to have a pretty good hand to beat him. Alright, he's leaving back the Gurmag Angler. That gives us some more time to draw. That's actually really good. Alright, so let's ponder and hope that our draw is amazing. Brainstorm, sure. We need a real good one. Preordained Battle Rage Blessing. Oh, it's so close. So we could leave Preordain on top. This is awkward. If he attacks us with both next turn, then we can't use the Apostle's Blessing. Although I guess that's fine. So we go Blessing last, then Battle Rage, then Preordain. If I put Temur Battle Rage on top, I can attack. If he doesn't block, he has to worry about Lightning Bolt Battle Rage. Or a Apostle's Blessing Battle Rage or something. That might actually be okay. And if he does block, then I just Temur Battle Rage and I get to kill the Gurmag Angler. Is that going to be enough, though? Because then I still need to find like another Battle Rage to kill him. Because he's still killing me with the Sultai Scavenger. He didn't have the removal last turn. He did Brainstorm. I think that we're just going to have to try and go Preordain Battle Rage and get there. So let's go Blessing, Battle Rage, Preordain. No shuffle. And pass the turn. So if he attacks with both, then I don't really need the Apostle's Blessing either, which is nice. I wish that one of these was an island. Dispel would be really good right now. Ugh, another Ponder. He's got a lot of his draw spells. He's been chaining them together like we want to. That's kind of the issue. We want to be firing off a Ponder or Preordain almost every turn of the game. Well, let's see what he does. I should check and see if he shuffles. So he goes top, top, top. He's deciding on the shuffle right now. He does shuffle. That's interesting. And we're dead. Crap. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So Preordain. I don't know what I could get here. Apostle's Blessing doesn't do it. Yeah, we're just dead. Needed to avoid the hit for a turn, just couldn't. Well, those have been some tough losses. All right, let's go to match 4. And Man, these hands have been really tough tonight. I think that we can keep this one, though. We do have a Preordain, which is pretty big. Gotta hope for a little bit of luck.